Have you ever noticed how most folks don't start thinking about their heart health until there's already a problem? It's easy to chalk it up to genetics or just getting older, but that's only part of the picture. After years of speaking with heart surgeons, there's a quiet truth many of them share. When an older patient ends up on the operating table, it's usually not just bad luck. It's the result of daily habits, small, ordinary actions repeated over time. These routines may seem harmless, but they gradually chip away at heart health, like a slow, silent erosion. If you're in your 60s, 70s, or even 80s, here's the encouraging part. Some of these harmful patterns can be turned around, and others can be prevented completely if you catch them soon enough. This isn't fear-mongering. It's about shining a light on the real behaviors doctors see every day in heart patients, and helping you make smarter choices before it's too late. In today's video, we're going to break down 7 everyday habits that nearly all older heart surgery patients shared, many without even realizing they were doing anything wrong. You might see yourself or someone close to you in these patterns, and recognizing them now could mean the difference between staying healthy and ending up in a hospital bed. Let's begin. Habit 1. Skipping breakfast or starting the day with sugary foods. A common thread heart surgeons point out is that many of their older patients had a poor breakfast routine, either skipping it entirely or grabbing something sweet and fast. At first, this doesn't raise alarms. Who hasn't had a muffin, a bowl of cereal, or just coffee in the morning? But there's a deeper impact. Your heart, your blood pressure, your energy, all of it responds to what you eat when you wake up. Skipping food or loading up on sugar sets off a wave of imbalance. It causes a spike in cortisol and a disruption in insulin, forcing your heart to work harder just to keep up. Over time, this pattern takes a toll. Arteries lose flexibility, blood gets a bit thicker, and your cardiovascular system faces daily stress. There's also a behavior cycle. People who skip breakfast often end up eating too much later, usually salty or high-fat foods, trying to make up for the earlier void. This only compounds the pressure on the heart. These decisions feel small, but they stack up day after day. By the time you feel symptoms, years of strain have already taken place. I recall a man named Harold, 76, retired, and proud to say he never ate breakfast. Just coffee, maybe toast if he felt like it. He was fine for a long time, then his numbers started climbing. Blood pressure, cholesterol, chest pain followed. His doctor explained the truth. His condition didn't appear overnight. It arrived slowly every morning for years. The solution isn't complicated. Begin your day with real food. Fiber, protein, healthy fats. Something as basic as oatmeal with nuts, eggs, and vegetables, or avocado on whole grain toast can stabilize your blood sugar and reduce heart strain. You don't need perfection, just consistency. Because breakfast isn't just about fuel. It sets the rhythm for how your body copes with the next 24 hours. Habit 2. Suppressing emotions and avoiding honest conversations. This one often catches people off guard, but heart surgeons talk about it more than you'd expect. A surprising number of older heart patients weren't just dealing with diet or exercise issues. They were holding onto years of emotional weight. Grief, regret, frustration, loneliness. They kept it all inside, and the heart listens. Emotional stress doesn't stay in your head, it travels. Your nervous system becomes tense, blood pressure subtly rises, and your rest gets disturbed. That constant low-level stress becomes a hidden burden on your heart. Studies have shown a strong link between emotional suppression and cardiovascular trouble. Those who stay silent about their feelings face greater risk of heart, rhythm issues, inflammation, and even sudden cardiac events. Expressing emotion isn't weakness, it's a form of care for yourself and your heart. When you hold your breath through every tough emotion, you're forcing your heart to carry the hidden weight, pushing it to work harder without the oxygen and release it needs. Over time, that pressure adds up and the heart begins to wear down. I once met a woman named Elaine, 80 years old, the backbone of her family, always cheerful, never asked for help. When her husband passed away, she didn't shed a tear in front of anyone. Her words were always the same, "I'm fine." But a year later, while tending to her garden, she collapsed. The diagnosis was heart failure. The doctor pointed to clogged arteries, but her daughter later confided in me. It felt like her heart had been breaking for years, and we never noticed. You don't have to open your soul to the whole world, but find someone you trust. A friend, a counselor, anyone. Emotions are meant to move, not sit still in your chest like weights. The heart is designed for circulation, not compression. If you're still with us and getting value from this, drop a number 2 in the comments to let me know you're watching. And if you haven't yet, consider subscribing and turning on notifications. Your support keeps these life-changing lessons coming. Let's keep going. Habit 3. Relying on pain relievers instead of fixing the root issue. Here's a trend heart surgeons see far too often. Older adults turning to over-the-counter meds day after day just to push through. Achy joints, sore backs, lingering headaches. So they take a pill, feel some relief, and carry on. But what starts as a quick fix quietly becomes a harmful daily routine. Medications like ibuprofen or naproxen seem harmless, just part of the bathroom shelf. But regular use, especially on an empty stomach or without medical advice, increases blood pressure, strains the kidneys, and burdens the heart. If you already have plaque buildup or blood flow issues, those small doses add up to big damage. I think of Carl, a 76-year-old golfer who looked fit, played twice a week, but lived with nagging knee pain. Instead of therapy or rest, he popped ibuprofen every morning. After a mild heart attack, his scans revealed deep arterial damage. The doctor told him, "This didn't happen yesterday. Your heart's been managing silent stress for years." The issue isn't just the medicine, it's what we skip by taking it. Every pill is a chance we miss to stretch, adjust routines, or explore why the pain exists in the first place. Aging isn't always the cause. Sometimes, pain is your body's signal that something deeper needs attention. Masking it without understanding it is like hitting snooze on a smoke alarm without checking for fire. Many older adults do this not out of carelessness, but because they want to stay useful, avoid complaints, or not trouble others. But your heart isn't interested in courtesy. It responds to pressure, inflammation, and imbalance. If your knees ache, look into it. If your head throbs regularly, ask why. Don't let short-term comfort become long-term damage. This isn't an anti-medicine message. It's a call to be mindful. Deal with the cause, not just the symptom. Your heart will repay you with years of stronger, steadier beats. Habit 4. Skipping breakfast or delaying meals too long. On the surface, skipping breakfast may seem like a smart move, especially if you're watching your weight. But surgeons keep noting a disturbing link. Patients who consistently skip that first meal of the day often have more blood pressure spikes, sugar crashes, and yes, heart complications. It's not about feeling hungry. It's about how your body reacts to extended fasting after a night's rest. Overnight, your heart never stops working. It pumps, it repairs, it regulates. But when you don't refuel in the morning, cortisol, the stress hormone, rises to keep you going. That creates more pressure in your arteries and throws your heart into overdrive. Add a strong coffee without food, and you're pushing your system even harder. I think of Eleanor, 68, who swore skipping breakfast helped her manage her figure. She'd drink coffee, run errands, and not eat until afternoon. By then, her blood sugar would tank. She'd get lightheaded and grab the nearest snack, usually chips or something processed. It felt like discipline, but it was a daily roller coaster for her body. After her second stent surgery, she finally worked with a nutritionist who told her the truth. Her eating habits weren't helping her stay in balance. They were sending her into crisis mode every morning. It all comes back to stress. The danger isn't just in skipping breakfast, it's in how your body learns to cope with it. When you're running on empty, your system shifts from thriving to just surviving. Hormonal changes kick in, especially those that affect your hunger later in the day. Most people who skip breakfast end up overeating at night, often choosing foods high in salt, sugar, or fat. That leads to higher cholesterol and elevated triglycerides, two well-known contributors to heart disease. And in older adults, the effects show up faster and with more severe consequences. You don't need a giant breakfast, just something to give your heart a signal of support. A little fiber, some protein, even a bit of healthy fat. A small handful of almonds and a piece of fruit can be enough. What truly matters is consistency, the message you send to your body each morning, "I've got your back." This habit doesn't get much attention because it feels harmless. But it's one of the first questions heart surgeons ask, and for good reason. Feeding your heart first thing in the day isn't just nutrition, it's daily protection. If this video is still resonating with you, comment number 4 below. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss future content. Your engagement means a lot and helps us keep these insights coming. Now let's move ahead. Habit 5, staying still for too long. Rest might sound like a natural reward of aging, but here's what surgeons know: older adults who spend long stretches of time sitting without moving around are far more likely to develop heart problems. And this has nothing to do with working out or lifting weights. It's about simply not moving, sitting for hours without getting up to stretch or take a walk. When your body is still, blood slows down. It can begin to collect in your legs. That forces your heart to pump harder to circulate oxygen and nutrients. Over time, this weakens your blood vessels and makes plaque buildup more likely. Everything may look peaceful on the outside, but inside, your heart is slowly wearing out. I remember Frank, 75, a retired accountant. His days were quiet, watching TV, doing crosswords, maybe standing up to get the mail. When he began experiencing chest pain, his doctor diagnosed the early stages of heart failure. He wasn't overweight, he didn't smoke. His heart had simply lost its edge from years of stillness. Staying active doesn't mean training for a marathon. It means standing up every half hour, stretching, walking around, doing light chores, whatever keeps your circulation flowing. Think of it like keeping the gears of a machine lightly turning. It doesn't need high speed, just movement. Inactivity doesn't just impact your heart. It affects your blood sugar, your mood, your sleep. But your heart is the one that suffers first, and often in silence. It won't warn you with pain right away. It'll just keep working harder until it can't. Surgeons can fix blockages and place stents, but they can't restore years of inactivity. That's something only you can change. Start with small, regular movement and show your heart that you're still in the game. Habit 6, ignoring emotional stress. Most of us assume heart problems come from physical causes: what you eat, how much you move, your family history. But heart surgeons say it's often what's buried inside that does the most damage. The patients who show up in the operating room usually have one thing in common: chronic emotional stress that's been quietly eating away at their health for years. Because your heart doesn't just react to diet or exercise, it reacts to emotion. Stress, sadness, grief, anger, these feelings aren't just mental. They cause physical shifts, higher blood pressure, faster heart rate, and chemical changes that, over time, damage the heart. One woman, Joanne, 68, had been widowed for 6 years. She lived alone and insisted she was doing fine. Her friends admired her strength, but she often couldn't sleep and felt chest tightness during stressful moments. When she finally had a full checkup, her doctor found irregular rhythms, high blood pressure, and early signs of arterial damage. Her lifestyle wasn't the issue, it was the emotional pressure she'd been quietly carrying. The heart is tough, but it's not indifferent. It stores stress, remembers pain, and responds to the signals you send it every day. Living in a constant state of tension releases cortisol and adrenaline, the body's fight or flight hormones. Over time, those chemicals wear your system down like water slowly cutting into rock. Hypertension, stroke, even sudden cardiac arrest. These aren't just random events. They often stem from years of unspoken, unprocessed emotional stress. Many older adults were raised with the belief that strength means silence. Don't complain, don't cry, just keep going. But while resilience is noble, emotional suppression isn't harmless. It doesn't make the pain disappear, it simply transfers the weight onto the body. The good news, emotional release is real healing. Talking to someone, writing your thoughts in a journal, breathing deeply, praying, meditating. These aren't soft habits. These are powerful tools for protecting your health. Just like you wouldn't ignore a cracked pipe in your home, you shouldn't ignore a cracked heart. You are allowed to feel, you are allowed to rest. And you are absolutely allowed to protect your heart, not just physically, but emotionally. If you're still here and finding this video helpful, comment number 6 below so I know you're with me. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss future videos. Your support allows us to keep creating meaningful content for you. Now, let's move forward. Habit 7. Going years without checking your heart health. Of all the habits heart surgeons talk about, this one might be the most frustrating because it's entirely preventable. Too many older adults don't discover their heart issues until it's nearly too late. Why? Because they don't get checked. We get regular oil changes for our cars. We inspect our homes before things fall apart. But somehow, after retirement, many stop scheduling regular heart screenings. Some say they feel fine. Others are afraid of what the doctor might say. Many just don't realize what they should be watching for. But here's the hard truth. Your heart can be struggling long before symptoms show up. High blood pressure, high LDL cholesterol, calcium buildup, or an abnormal EKG. These are early warning signs. And they are all detectable through a simple annual checkup, basic blood work, and if needed, a stress test or echocardiogram. Take George, age 76. He said he was just slowing down a bit, and nothing serious. But his daughter encouraged him to get a full heart checkup. What they found was shocking. Over 80% blockage in a key artery. He received a stent, changed his diet, and now he's thriving. But if he hadn't gone in, his story could have ended very differently. Not knowing isn't peace of mind, it's a risk. And unlike other health issues, heart problems often don't announce themselves until they're dangerous. Sometimes the first symptom is the heart attack. Heart surgeons say it again and again. I wish this patient had come in 2 years earlier. Let's not make that same mistake. Preventive care isn't just about avoiding problems. It's about adding years, energy, and freedom to your life. Your heart has carried you this far. A checkup once a year is a small price to make sure it can keep going strong. Final thoughts. We tend to think of bad habits as little things. Biting your nails, skipping a walk. But often, it's the quiet, overlooked habits that carry the greatest consequences. That's what heart surgeons want us to understand. Their patients didn't end up in the operating room because of one massive mistake. It was years of small, unnoticed patterns, skipping meals, avoiding checkups, sitting too long, ignoring emotions, that added up silently. But here's the hope, it's not too late. No matter your age, your heart responds to better care. You don't have to be perfect, you just have to start, one habit at a time, one small shift. A little more movement, a little less pressure, a little more intention. And your heart will thank you every beat of it. So, think back on these 7 habits. Which one hit home for you? Is there something you've been meaning to change? Or something you just learned matters more than you realized? Noticing is the first step. Let's not wait for the wake-up call that arrives in an ambulance. Let's make the call ourselves now, while we still have the power to choose. You're not alone in this. We're all learning, all growing, and all trying to be a little wiser today than we were yesterday. Thank you for spending your time with us today. Please leave a comment below. Share one thing you learned and how you plan to use it. Your thoughts truly matter. Reading your comments motivates and encourages us deeply. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might benefit. Your support keeps this channel alive and lets us keep creating content to inform and inspire. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.